think Hutch is going to bounce back big.
I can't even say he's catching strays out here. They're like going for the jugular on this guy.
The only game he has any type of stats is game 2.
I don't think the Lions actually win that game without the contributions of Aidan Hutchinson.
I think a lot of it has to do with that thigh injury. Like, I'd rather him like chill, get healthy, and come back and be the guy we saw in the first half of the Commanders game.
I'm not up here saying, oh, he's a bust. He sucks. He'll never be. No, I'm just saying I want to see more out of him.
Aidan Hutchinson. I can't even say he's catching strays out here. They're like going for the jugular on this guy.
No, no strays. Yeah, he's not catching strays. They're coming right for him.
You actually, you had smoke from the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's smoke or more than it is just fact. He's only been the box score in one game this year. The only game he has any type of stats is game 2. Obviously, he had a great game. He had 3 sacks, he had 6 tackles, but in week 1 and week 2, I think he had half a tackle in week 1, and that's it. This is the number 2 pick in the draft. This is the blue chip player that you're expecting to be your cornerstone on defense for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see a little bit more out of him.
I'm glad we got you today, Flannel Sam, because you the one that went out there and said he's getting 12 sacks, defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, and he's still on pace for more than 12 sacks, just for the record. But I get what Spencer's saying, because for 5 out of 6 halves, he's been, I would say, unimpactful. But the one half that he was amazing, he was, phenomenal. He had 3 sacks. I don't think the Lions actually win that game without the contributions of Aidan Hutchinson, because when you're sacking the quarterback 3 times, those are momentum, game-changing type plays that can help lead to wins. And the Lions shut out the Commanders in the first half, which I know the Commanders kind of made a run in the second half, but it was never really close. It was never really in question, and that is in part because of how dominant Aidan Hutchinson and the defense was in the first half of that game. But it is a little bit of a cause for pause that the majority of the time in the games, Aidan Hutchinson, sometimes you don't even know he's on the field, but at the same time, that's kind of the nature of a defensive end. You're going to make a couple of really, really big plays a game, hopefully. But the rest of the game, you'd like to see him be more impactful in the run game. You'd like to see him get more, I'd say, effective pressures to where the quarterback doesn't just step aside and elude him. So there is some cause to pause, but I think Hutch is going to bounce back big against Seattle this week.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I still think he's the real deal. I mean, Spinny, you and I, and our guy Dosa Dion too. We attended camp. I was there pretty much every damn day, and I saw the it in him. We also spoke on this show several times of how in private these Detroit Lions defensive coaches were like, "Damn, we got one." And then once more when Aaron Glenn went to him during the joint practice, yeah, we got one. I mean, speaking of that Colts joint practice, there was something trending on Twitter. We dusted that one guy in the 1v1 drills. Didn't even touch him. And I'm with you, too. I think a lot of it has to do with that thigh injury, because obviously we saw it in the first half. And I guess the only reason why I brought this up as a topic is shout out to Bryce Rossier, or Rustler, on Twitter. He broke down, he clipped all the, Aidan's pressures and hurries and sacks, and he's like, do any of these reps look necessarily impressive to you? And I have to admit, in that Washington game, he had the one clean break right to the quarterback because of John Kaminsky, who I do think we do miss on the defensive line. And then the rest of them were kind of just effort sacks where he's, Carson's trying to escape the pocket and he just happens to run into Aidan, or obviously Aidan just hit that spin move or third move and ran into him and got him. But none of them were necessarily dominant. You know what I'm saying? He didn't dominate his defender. But I will say though, in the Philly game, I think he got the best of a lot of guys. He just over pursued and actually getting the tackle. And Jalen Hurts obviously is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, over pursued, missed a couple sacks that could have been available against a weaker quarterback. In that Philly game, you talk about his deep thigh contusion that kind of hampered him in the last game. I'm with Sam though. I agree that I think he'll have a better game against Seattle. I think he's going up. They're starting 2 rookie tackles. They have Geno Smith, who is not the most nimble guy in the pocket. I think he's kind of clumsy in the pocket at some times. So I expect Aidan Hutchinson to be healthier in this game, to be going up against rookie tackles, to go out there and make some plays. So it's, you'd like to see more of it. Like you said, in that last game, he was kind of invisible. He was getting blocked by tight ends. He was getting blocked by running backs. It was not great, but I'll give him a break because he was injured and they were getting the ball out fast. But still, we need to see a little bit more out of him.
Yeah, and I credit injury to part of the reason he was slowed down last week too. Because I mean, look at his practice schedule that week. He didn't practice a single day up until Friday. So obviously it's bothering quite a bit for like a rookie, especially. Like veterans, you can get like days of rest because you kind of know what the hell you're doing. You've been in the game for a while. Aidan Hutchinson is a rookie to have like that many days off, and then just probably just gave it to go Friday. And I mean, we saw how competitive he was in Game 1, where they're trying to take him off the field. He was denying him then at that point too. Like, and I told you this about back at the Brass Rail, we partying during the Commanders win. I was like, I still feel like Austin Bryant at 100% is better than Aidan at 60% at this point. I'm just more confident in that. If he is banged up, I want him to get his rest, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather him, like, chill, get healthy, and come back and be the guy we saw in the first half of the Commanders game.
Yeah, and if he's the guy we see in the first half of the Commanders game, he's definitely Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he's trending really high up. And I do think we shouldn't sleep on the fact that I truly believe that if Aidan Hutchinson doesn't play against the Commanders, that the Lions lose. Because Aidan Hutchinson was the most impactful defender in the first half on a defense that shut out the Commanders, that allowed the Lions to take a 22-0 lead. We can't just sleep on the fact that he was phenomenal. He was dominant. To me, I get what that guy was saying, that they weren't always just him just beating a lineman off the edge. But even if they are more effort sacks, Aidan Hutchinson still has to be there and make the sack. If he's not there, who knows? Carson Wentz may be able to scramble out and complete a pass for first down. So I'm not worried at all about Aidan Hutchinson yet, although for a lot of portions of games, he does kind of disappear, and you wonder if he's even on the field and doesn't make an impact. But against Seattle, this is set up for him in a must-win game for the Lions to just get after Geno Smith, just abuse those rookie tackles, and just get to Geno Smith, who, like Spencer said, doesn't have great pocket presence and isn't really that much of a threat with his legs.
Yeah.
And I want to go to JB real quick, too. But before I do, I want to remind you, I guess, of the 2022 class. Aidan does rank first in sacks. For some reason, PFF has him tied with Dominique Robinson, who has 3 sacks, but Pro Football Reference has Dominique Robinson with 1.5. So I'm looking for an answer on that one. But I digress. Second QB hits and second QB hurries in terms of his draft class. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's still pretty damn good to me. But JB, how you feel with the Aidan Hutchinson stuff?
I mean, I'm still confident in him. I know we need to get back to how we played that first half against Washington. So that needs to happen back in this game right here. But I mean, we put a lot on him coming off that first game with those 3 sacks to put that more pressure on him to get to Kirk Cousins like that. I know, he got blocked, as Spencer says, from running backs, tackles, everything like that. But he has to do a little bit more when it comes to just getting out there on plays. If you're not going to make the sack, at least help out whenever way you can. But I think this game, like I said, Geno Smith isn't a world beater. You'll be able to get to him if you just put that pressure on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his rookie year too.
It's his rookie year. Yeah, I'm not up here saying, "Oh, he's a bust. He sucks. He'll never be." No, I'm just saying I want to see more out of him. I'm saying I want to see production every week. I want to see something tangible every week, not one half of football where you explode, and then like Flannel said, for 5 halves, it's kind of where is he out there?
100%. Joe Beerline in the Woodward Sports chat mentions, I mean, we're going to talk about the other D linemen not winning 1v1s, and I want to defend my guy Charles Harris because he has. I think he leads the team this year with QB hits. Obviously led them last year in sacks. He has a 1 sack this year that was actually turned to a safety. So I'm defending my guy Charles Harris a little bit.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, I'm a little bit disappointed in Aidan in, and just because it's supposed to be like one of the benefits of having him, not even like in terms of like an edge rusher, but the run defense. Mm-hmm. Last week against Dalvin Cook, I tried defending our run defense heading into that game because I was like, a lot of that stuff, a lot of those stats come from Jalen Hurts abusing us, but Dalvin Cook got off too. I think he had 97 yards before he got out of the game.
Yeah.
I like to see Aidan step up in the run game.
Yeah, definitely. You need to see that a little bit. You need to see, like I said, I'd like to see more production out of him in all facets of the game. But he is a rookie. He is a young guy. He's still learning. He's going to get better. I'm not freaking out about it. I'm just saying, he's brought in to be our cornerstone, to be our guy. He's getting these opportunities, so I'd like to see it.
100%. We about to say something about the run defense, Sam?
Oh, just that Dalvin Cook, that was the thing. He kind of abused the Lions last week on the ground. And one of the big reasons why they were able to tie the game after the Lions had taken a 14-0 lead. And I said it a little bit on BDE, that Aidan Hutchinson in the run, like defending the run, that's where he has been a little bit disappointing, because that was something that he was good at Michigan, something that was kind of like talked about when we were talking about who we should draft. Aidan Hutchinson can stop the run. So, but he is a rookie. I do expect improvements, but this week it might be a little bit, I wouldn't say a referendum game, but he has to show out. He has to win matchups versus rookie tackles and get to Geno Smith, because if he can, the Lions got this game, a game they need to have.